All right, what's going on? We back in the game. Vacation's over. If you'll notice, some things are different. This is my new photo station. So it's flat lay and it's angled. It's angled up a little bit. So yeah, and then that. So we'll talk about all that in a minute. But I'm just gonna do a quick video because I keep getting so into my work I forget to make a video. And I was supposed to make one Monday, and today's Thursday, so I'm a little late. Okay, so we went on a little vacation. Part of it was to go see Chris, which if you don't know, he is the one of the guys that runs the Facebook group that I'm part of and knows what he's doing. So I literally planned my vacation to California around visiting him. Kind of a kill two birds with one stone, yeah, type thing. So um, yeah, I went and saw him. Day was I? I think the 14th. Yeah, the 14th. And anyways, met with him for quite a few hours, got a ton of information, asked a ton of questions, saw his setup, went through every little thing, all the details, how he does everything. That's how the flat lay came about because everyone says flat lay is so much faster. And I said, why? What makes it so much faster? So he went into some details, explained some things. This is what makes it faster and, help you shave seconds just here and there. People don't really think about it, but if you have a 2-minute process and you can shave off seconds doing this motion and this motion, I mean, you can get it down to a minute and a half. I won't, I know that people can do this in a minute or less to take their photos. Say it's 8 photos of an item. Um, it's going to be a very slow process in the beginning. It's probably going to take me longer to take my photos now in the beginning till I get those reps in. And maybe by the end of the day, I don't know how many photos in or items in, I'll be faster. My goal is if I can get to 1 minute for a photo and no more than 2 minutes for a listing, right? That'd be 3 minutes. If I wanted to do 60 items a day, that'd be 3 hours. Say another hour doing shipping, customer service, I don't know, whatever else, prepping items. That would be 4 hours I could work and do 60 items and then go sourcing for 4 hours, 3 hours, however many hours it takes. So that's or source online. Source online. See if you can get a good source online. Just a couple you can get thousands of items in 2 minutes if you have the proper source. So that's my goal to get to. But until then, I got to go to the thrift. So yeah, so that's kind of my goal right now. Um, I want to perfect this, and then obviously there was tons of information. I'm not going to share it all. I can't. But there's some things I asked him specifically about my store. So remember, we had all those items, 7,400 items, I think it was. That's interesting. Let's look real quick because I saw that email the other day and I was like, I almost deleted it, but I want to keep it. 7,209 back on June 9th. Now I'm at 4,780. Excuse me, 4,780 items. And yes, the way I'm getting so many items so fast is some of the stuff I took out of the store I'm putting back in the store. So I'm just selling, relisting the ended listing. So yeah, you can get tons of listings back. But I'm totally fixing them. And I'm not putting everything back in. I am filtering through and only putting stuff that's decent back in. Um, and that was one of the things him and I talked about. We talked about sell-through rates. Sell-through rate it's such a very interesting topic because everyone wants to list an item today and it sells 5 minutes after you list it, right? Or maybe you want a couple days so you don't feel like you listed it too low. But you want it to sell right away. We all want that. But you're not going to find enough items to support yourself off that strategy. You can't only look for 100% sell-through rate in 90 days. It's just, I'm sorry. So what do you need to do is figure out what percentage works for you for a sell-through, and then figure out how many items, like Chris talks about this all the time, how many items you need in your store to sell X per day at X profit margin. And his spreadsheet, I need to actually download and go through because I think that's very good. And I think my sell-through rate right now is probably, I'm going to guess 7 months on average. And I might actually be able to, I don't know if people care. But you know what? This is more for me than anyone. So we're going to do this. All right. So we're going to say, how many have we sold? What did we sell? I think we sold 3 today. Okay. So what I'm trying to figure out is how many items I've sold. Oops. So I need to take and do some numbers. I don't know. Oh, we could go per day. Okay. So we know that number. Sorry. What does this give you? Wow, it's saying my sell-through rate is, no, that's not right. Sorry. It's in my 4% sell-through rate a month. It's pretty low, huh? So that's really low. But we're fixing a lot of things. Okay, so anyways, you got to find a sell-through rate that, oh, I think I did that wrong. Because we're selling just over 6 items on average per day, which is not great, but we're recovering. So, I talked to him about that whole, ending the items and my store and my traffic and all that, my big fight with eBay and not getting anywhere. And he's like, you got 2 choices. You can go down that road and keep focusing on why you lost the traffic, or you can get to work, basically. I mean, he was a lot nicer about it. But so I'm like, yeah, he's right. I need to stop spending my energy on that. I do believe you got to fight for what you, what you, sometimes you got to fight in your business. Like if there's, you can't get an answer and you need the answer, you got to fight. But sometimes you're not going to get the answer. And I'm not going to get the answer. And I should have realized this early on. I'm not going to get the answer in this case because, and this was confirmed to me yesterday by eBay, the only people that are going to know what the hell's going on is the IT department. Like as far as if I did piss off the algorithm, what actually happened with my traffic? Did my store hit a tipping point to where I just had too many crappy items and it's like, you're starting to sell less and then you just go down that slippery slope? Guess and place your money and we'll see who wins. But I don't know because they're the only ones that know and they're not going to tell me because then they would be giving up trade secrets of the algorithm. So I'm never actually going to find out why my store did that. Um, could have been many reasons. Could have been a lot of reasons. So my point for all that though is that I need to stop spending the energy on that. Now yesterday I finally, because you guys remember my last ditch effort, well there was 2 of them. One was to go to eBay Open, which I'm not going to do. I was going to do just to get this problem solved, but then start thinking about it. It's a lot of money to go down there just to solve one problem. If I was a millionaire, I'd probably do it just to see if I could get an answer, but I need to focus my energy elsewhere. Number 2, the Anchor store. I called tomorrow. I'm like, let me see if they hook me up because I signed up for the Anchor store and they're like, oh, we don't know. Your number, when you call the number, you're supposed to get redirected if you have Anchor store rather than just the normal people call the number and they go this way. If you have an Anchor store, you go this way. You get special people that you talk to that are based in the United States, and voila. So I called yesterday just to see because I've been paying for it for a month and haven't had the service. So I'm like, all right, let's call. So I call. Sure enough, lady answers, and I'm like, are you Anchor store support? She's like, yeah. Like, really? So we have a long conversation. talked to her about the traffic, and she's like, well, it could have been down on eBay. I mean, she's like, there's so many different factors. Basically said what I said about the IT department. Um, and so, but she did give me a lot of other tips, a lot of other things to do, kind of opened my eyes about different ways to look at these promotions, different things that I can do, um, and not just, excuse me, do things the same way every time. Um, because one of my things is like there's newsletters and I rarely use them because it doesn't do anything. Well, it doesn't do anything, I don't think, because I don't do it right. So I was asking her about that and coupons and sales and traffic, and I was asking her everything I could because I'm like, oh, I finally got a person. And let me tell you, the anchor support people, it's not that the other people are rude when you call, because they're all nice. Well, most of the time. I've had a couple rude ones. But I just think they're more vested in solving your problem because they're dealing with people that maybe eBay thinks, and probably to a degree is right, are more professional in, or look at selling on eBay more professionally than other people. Because if you have an anchor store, that's a pretty big store, right? So you have a business set up, I'm sure. No one's a sole proprietor with 10,000 plus items or joining an anchor store like me just to get a question answered. Um, So you have the company, you have maybe employees. If not, you have a really good system. So you're taking it seriously. It's not just, hey, if I can make an extra $1,000, cool. Like the Poshmark commercial you see with the girl selling all of her stuff for college and all that. So they may I can tell they teach these people different when you call for an anchor store. So that was really good. Got that taken care of. We're gonna put that to rest. I'm never gonna know why my traffic, I dropped 20 million impressions. 20 million? Yeah, 20 million impressions in 2 months, and 50% of my sales disappeared, never to recover. Goodbye, see you, thanks, have a nice day. But now we're going on the right track. So let's talk. So my business partner was able to come into town last Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We took this photo station, made it flat lay because I talked to Chris, saw his flat lay. He convinced me once you get it down, you can be faster. So I'm going to try it out. Okay. So we got one light there. You can barely see. Where is it? Right there. There's another one hanging up here. It's tied to my floor joist. It's kind of ghetto, but you know what? I don't care. It works. I'm going to do eventually 2 more lights over there. Um, these racks. So I built one of these, an 8-foot one, which is over there. You guys can't see. And I will do a tour of this. I have a garage sale, not this weekend, but next weekend. After that, because I got a lot of stuff I got to get rid of. So these racks, this is a huge rack. It's like 14 feet, and it holds. Yeah, that's the first one. It's holding 2,200, almost 2,175 items. Okay, so basically, so we built that one. We already had one built. We built another one, another one, another one. So we built 4 shelves. He did most of the work. I helped him with this one, and he was able to do the other ones while I was doing other stuff. So we have 5 shelves in here now. I think on those 5 shelves, oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I do know this. I'm going to be able to hold 50 to 60% more items down here. So I think I can get about a 20,000 plus item stored down in my basement without using the racks. Remember the racks that used to be here in my older videos? Those I'm going to sell at the garage sale. I'm going to keep probably 3 of them just because I don't want to sell them and then be like, oh, I wish I would have kept those. And then on my bins, I'm going to sell most of my bins. So part of the project was taking all those damn items and putting them into the boxes and changing the SKUs. Oh my God, spent hours doing that. So many hours. And he was doing it on this computer. I had my laptop all set up over here. We had his bins piled. And so we got the photo station. We have the new inventory station. We had to take everything down. We had to clean up. I went through all my inventory. I know what I have now, 100%. I bought a Z rack, which if you don't know, I'll show you that in my video. Super good. It's $100 if you have the money and the space. It's really worth getting one because I want to get one more. I want to have 2. I want to have one where I hang the items up that need to be prepped, and the other one will be the items are prepped. so that I can take that Z rack, I can roll it over here, and I can just take the items off the hanger, lay them down, photo, bam, 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 1 minute, and then I'll have the table over here, and I can just pile them on this table and just scoot it over. I mean, it's not going to be heavy. So that's kind of my plan. Uh, I also have another thought, which I'm not going to share yet, of how to get rid of some items. Um, one was an idea Chris gave me a while back, but I have another thought of how I think I could be really successful getting rid of items that I don't want in my store. And the other thing, and I've never really talked about, well, I've kind of talked about it, but not really classified. I have more items than I think that aren't crappy. So I think before I thought like 70% of my store was crappy. I think it's more like 30%. Because as I'm going through putting these old listings back in and filtering out the junk, right? Like a Gildan t-shirt. I have some of those in my store. I'm not putting any more in there. But I'm noticing, and I'm also going through and changing titles because I had my titles a little bit wrong. I had to switch a little bit. So when you have to switch 5,000 listings, it takes a while. So every night I go through and do like 300 of them, and eventually we'll all get done. But um, I'm noticing I don't have as many bad items as I thought. I just think, really what I think is I've tried too much stuff too fast. Like, oops, sorry, shaking the camera. I think I'm kind of like Chris in the way that I'll think of an idea and I'm like, yeah, let's try that. Like when I ended all the listings or try a different pricing structure or promoted structure or coupons structure or you name it structure, right? And I think I mentioned this in the past, but I got to make sure that I really think through an idea before I implement it. Now, this was no brainer. Oh, I can store 2.5 more items in my same space, 2.5 times more items, meaning we can get up to $20,000 in the same space versus before. Yeah, why not? And I can go to my items. You could give me an item right now. I can find it in probably 5 seconds. Well, some in the back may take me 3 seconds to walk there, but I can pick it. If I'm standing at the shelf, you give me a number, boom, I can have the item in about 5 seconds. It's that fast. If you don't do this, you should. If you have the room. If you have the room. Now, is this cheap to do? No, it is not. But I built these racks for half the price of what you can go buy them at, even with outrageous lumber prices. Now, I live in a smaller area, so maybe prices are a little, well, I know prices are less. Like I can still get gas for less than $4. So I know I'm not in, it's like say if you did this in California, it might be twice as much. But for me, it made sense to build it versus going out and buying it. So that's why I built it. And my buddy, he knows how to build, so it was nothing for him. Um, excuse me. So this is my overall goal, right? So I want to get, if I bring an item down the stairs and into the store or a bag of stuff, set it on the table, I want to know right where it needs to go. It needs to go on this rack to get um, uh, prepped, or it needs to be laundered, right? Because it has a stain or whatever. Hopefully I didn't miss that, but it'll have a home. It'll go from that home. It'll go into the next step, which is prep it, wash it, comes out, goes onto the Z rack that's like ready to go. Comes over here, gets its photo, goes on the table, boom, slide the table over, draft it, put it in the box, goes on the shelf. So I want things to come in and just have a nice flow and get back out as soon as possible. Get the hell out of here as soon as possible, right? That's my goal. That's why I'm going through doing all this stuff, getting everything finalized, getting all my processes in order. Because once I get all my processes in order, which I thought I had, but they needed some tweaking and I needed to add and subtract and blah, blah, blah. Right? I figured some stuff out. Get all my processes in order. Once I can find sourcing at a high level, I guess is the best way to put it, where I can source tons of items, have items brought to me in quantity. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Have items brought to me in quantity. I don't think there's any stopping me. I think it's just a matter of literally eBay's like printing money. If I do 1 + 1, I'll get 2, right? If I find a good item, I list it right, I'll get money. I've seen my store sell this item for this price and it made me this. Let's do that over and over, right? That's all tech does. That's all Chris does. That's all anyone that's successful at any business does. They figure out the formula that works and they just keep doing it. And then they add another person so they can do even more and make even more money. Same thing here. I want to get everything in order so that I can make a nice salary and my buddy can make a nice salary and then he can move here. Once he moves here, dude, we could, if we can get this, sorry, if we can get this photo station and we can take photos in 1 minute, which we should be able to because other people are doing it. So why can't I? I mean, so let's think about this. If you could do 120 photos, gotta quit touching the table, it shakes the monitor. If I can do 120 photos in 2 hours, or I should 120 items in 2 hours, right? Let's just do some math. What if my profit, 120 items, let's say my profit is, I don't want to use 10, that's too little, but I don't want to use 15. Let's say 13, lucky number 13. Excuse me, that's $1,500 a day times 30. It's $46,800 a month in profit. Okay. So I should probably, I was going to share my screen. I probably should have. Sorry. Oh, that's just profit you're listing. But let's just make it easy. Let's just say you're only selling 100 of those 120 and we were doing $13. So that's $1,300 a day times 30 is going to be $39,000. Okay, so $39,000 and you're selling 3,000 items. Let's say you pay $4 an item. That's $12,000. So now that's $27,000 profit. Let's just round down really far and say it's $20,000 after all these different expenses that I'm not even thinking of. So him and I could make $100,000 a year pretty easy. Spend 2 hours, or yeah, 2 hours a day doing photos. While he's doing photos or I'm doing photos, we could split it in half. He does 60, I do 60. You could be getting your listings done. So we'll just say in 3 hours, you could photo and list 120 items. You could work a 5 hour day realistically and make over $100,000 a year. How is 20 hours, 25 hours a week? How many people can work 25 hours a week and make 100 grand a year? Not many. But the potential's there. Again, it's just, I've got to get things settled now. So I've got to get my store fixed. I have to get my store fixed. That's really the main thing I need to do. I need to figure out how to get back on that train. Because I was thinking about it when I was driving around today. I was thinking about last year, actually, when I was on my way to the post office just before I started this video. I was thinking about um, last year and how, well, yeah, I get before I moved, and even I think that yeah, after I moved too. Um, I was just thinking, like, wow, I was so busy. I was, doing. Well, I have it right in front of me. That's why I pulled it up. I was doing between 15 and 20 sales a day. I'm looking at the chart right now. 15 to 20 sales a day, right? And so, I mean, we were just gangbusters. Everything was good. I thought, okay, we made it. Like we weren't having $1,000 days, but we were having $400 and $500 days. And I thought, okay, by this time next year, man, we are going to be looking so good. But it didn't happen. I don't know why. Why can you only see 90 days of traffic? It's so dumb. So yeah, I I don't know. I don't really know, people. I don't really know. Traffic's gone down lately, by the way. Sorry, I was looking at traffic. Yeah, so I just have to find out how to make the algorithm more happy, drive more sales. God, this is 25 minutes. I was only going to talk for 10 minutes. Sorry. I need to get the algorithm happy. Well, I guess this is what everyone needs to do. Get the algorithm happy, get more sales, and then just multiply it. And I can be working 5 hours a day, making 100 grand a year. Go golf every Friday. Might go golf every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Who knows? That rate, right? So what do I need to do? I need to finish going through the crap, sorting out what's good and what's bad goes into the yard sale. Then I need to get a good source for inventory. I've been talking about that for a while. I mean, I have, right? I have thrift stores here. So it's not that urgent. And I have a lot of items back there that I just need to accomplish it in the next, I'm going to say by the end of September, I need to have secured a source for where I'm going to buy inventory in bulk at a decent rate, cheaper than I can get it now. $3 to $4 would be fantastic. Fantastic. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's my overly long video, but I had to get that out because, yeah, I haven't made one in a while. So thanks for listening to me ramble. Like I said, I'll do a tour here and after I do my yard sale, which is going to be on not this coming weekend, but the following. So we'll do one then. It should be a lot more cleared out. Hopefully, I can sell these bins, sell the racks, sell a lot of clothing. It's a neighborhood garage sale. So I really, really, really am hoping we'll get a lot of people and I can just unload this stuff for $1 to $5. Um, yeah, that's all I got. All right. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.